Alright guys, welcome back. Today I am at Lake Oneal out here at the Hatchie National Wildlife Refuge. And I don't think you can see it, but right about there in that tree sits a bald eagle. I think he's fishing this morning also. You'll have to forgive the background noise. Right here at this particular lake, Interstate 40 is like right there behind this tree line right here. So you can literally hear the traffic all day. Anyways, the bald eagle just flying off over here. I'm out here with a couple of different missions in mind today. It is November the 2nd. It is a cool, crisp 55 degrees, which is fantastic. I have got some jerk baits. I have got some Zoom Super Flukes. I've got a wake bait. And I'm going to be bouncing around trying to catch bass and chain pickerel. And I've also brought my ultralight, and I've got some gulp minnows and some red worms. In case that doesn't pan out, I wanted to bring options. I haven't fished here in a while. But history of this lake used to be attached to the Hatchie River, which is just over there. And they've closed it off. The state closed it off. So everything that used to be in the river is in here. There's chain pickerels, there's catfish, there's carp, there's bass, brim, crappie, catfish. All the things are in here. Between like June 1st or June 15th through like November 15th is the only time of year where you can keep bass, and you can only keep 2 per person. So I'm going to try to keep my limit of bass today. I'm going to try to catch some chain pickerels because they're fun. They want you to keep every chain pickerel and don't throw it back in the water. If you don't want to keep it and eat it, they want you to throw it out on the bank just to not leave it in the water. It's a species they want removed from the lake. But there's gar out here, stuff like that too. Okay, they are not hitting this wake bait, and before it gets too late in the morning, I want to switch to another bait that I know they'll bite. I'm gonna put a Zoom Super Fluke on this one, and I've actually got a rainbow trout jerk bait on that one. It's one of my trout baits, and I'm gonna bounce back and forth between the two and see if I can't trigger something into biting. That was a good fish. Yeah. Whoa. Trolling motor's running in the trees. It's super shallow. Look at this fish, guys. Nice. Well, usually with these Zoom Super Flukes, you hook them right in the top of the mouth. That one I hooked in the bottom, so I gilled him a little bit. So I'm going to keep this bass because I can only keep 2. That's a decent one to catch, and I gilled him a little bit, so he's going in the cooler. All right, I found a bait that works, and it's this green colored Zoom Super Fluke. It's actually called baby bass color. And my buddy Sean turned me onto that color at this specific lake, actually, because we came out here and could not catch a fish, and I think he had a Cinco or something on that was that color and caught a bass, and he had a Zoom Super Fluke that was that same green color. I had nothing that was that color, and he was wearing me out, and I about got skunked that day. But that's the way it goes. Sometimes they just want the one bait. And so I'm okay with that. I like fishing the Zoom Super Fluke, so if I can get some of these bass out here to bite it, that's perfect. Because this is a really good chain pickerel bait too. Ooh, that felt like a bite. I think there's a lot of little bass back here. See, got him. That's what I was saying. I kept feeling little bites, and it's these little guys like this, and they keep tagging it and they're just not getting it. They're plenty big enough to bite it. They're just they're short striking it, but Pretty fish. I may have to go back up in the front. There's some really deep water up there. This is only a couple feet deeper than the rest of the lake, this little creek channel that I'm in. It's definitely holding fish. It's just holding the wrong size fish. And so if I can't find the bigger ones here, I'm gonna go back towards the front of the lake at the, I guess that would be the dam over there. It's kind of a dam all the way around this thing, but see if we can't land one more down here, and then we'll run back. There he was. Oh, see, he was little bitty. That's what I'm saying, this little bitty fish. Just gonna say, see if we can't catch one more down here, and then we'll go to that deeper water down there. I think it's all super tiny fish. I'm gonna throw back in there one more time since I just had that fish in there. That was a super tiny fish, whatever it was. I think it was a little bitty bass. It's not really what I'm looking for. And I'm getting 0 chain pickerel bites, and I should be getting a few of those as well, if not. So perhaps they're up in that deeper water in the front as well. The fish take off over there. Oh man. Oh crap, that's horrible. Sometimes you make a cast and it, you know, when you nose hook a zoom super fluke and you make too many casts, catch too many fish on your bait, eventually you'll cast it off and you'll get one hell of a backlash because you're trying to cast a hook. There he is. All the little ones are biting today. See, look at this guy. They're all dinks, which is way better than catching nothing. So, not complaining. I know there's bigger ones in here. I just got to figure out where on the lake they're hiding. Because I think I found a bait that works. This one seems to be doing pretty good. I've just got to find where the bigger fish are hanging. There he is. Ooh, wow, that was a better fish. Not much, but better. Yeah, that's nice. Same spot as that last one. There's a little deep channel right here is what the boat's in, where you can just look down and see that it's like 3 extra feet of depth. So I'm gonna see if I can't keep one a little bigger than that, maybe, hopefully by the end of the day, since I can only keep 2. There he is. Look. It is. I kept seeing these little fish. They're little bitty chain pickerels. They're like this year's. Let me show you this guy. This is exactly what I've been seeing bite my fluke. I thought it was little bass, but they come out of the water and jump off so fast you can't really tell. Look at this little guy, right? I'm gonna try to hold him where you can see him, but they're bad about flopping. See? It's a little bitty chain pickerel, and you can't throw these back. They don't want you throwing back in the water, but I've had at least about 3 of these, 3 or 4 of them on the hook, and that's got to be like this year's from the springtime, because they're not very big. I'm gonna throw him in the cooler. Guys, one of the critical things about fishing this lake, if you come out here, with the water being so shallow and so clear, these fish can see you. So I don't get many bites close to the boat. Most of the bites that I get are as far away from the boat as I can cast. So bring a pole that you can cast a long way with whatever bait you're planning on fishing with, because I think that's going to improve your odds. You can catch fish up here close to the boat, but I get way more further out, right? I want to make a long cast. And especially because a lot of these fish chase the bait for a minute before they bite, and if they get up here where they can see the boat, they kind of stop. There he is, got him. Pickerel. Sweet. This is another pretty small one. You can kind of see him. Whoa. If he'll calm down just a hair. Really cool fish. But again, they don't want them in the lake, so I'm going to take this one out. Same as the last one. Ooh, there he is. Good fish, good fish. Yeah, nice bass. Hey! I got another keeper, so I got my second bass that I'm gonna put in the cooler to take home. That's not a bad fish. They got some in here bigger than that, but as far as having fillets for dinner tonight, that one will work. So finally got one. I'm getting over here. There's a little bit of a deep channel right here along this bank, and I got over here by it, and sure enough, better fish, better quality fish. Guys, I'll tell you, on these Zoom Super Flukes, any of them, the color is irrelevant, but when you fish them nose hooked the way that I do, which if you watch my videos, you know that I nose hook them like this with a 5/0 hook. And it's the thing about it is the more fish you catch and the longer you fish it, popping it and jerking it, the bigger the hole gets where your hook goes through the bait. And that, as it has pros and cons. The good thing about having the hole get bigger as you fish is it actually gives the bait more action, because the bait's allowed to fluidly flow around the hook, where it has a lot of elasticity and it sticks to the hook when you first put it through, so the bait doesn't have as much motion, as much movement when you're working it. The bad news is once you wear that hole out from casting and catching fish, eventually you're bound to make a cast where the fluke flies off the hook, and you will backlash like crazy. Like when you go to cast and that weight's not there on a bait caster, it's bad news. And it's going to happen if you fish it the way that I do. Eventually it's going to fly off. But I love having that hole a little bit bigger, so that bait really moves a lot more in the water when you're working it erratically. Just know that you're eventually going to backlash pretty good. The wind is starting to pick up now. It's blowing the boat backwards. I may have to go to that end of the lake and let the wind blow me back, so I'm not fighting it the whole time. There he is. Ooh, not a bad fish. Woo. Yeah. That's the bass of the day right there. Pretty color too. Come on, bye. Calm down, I'll let you go. I promise I'll let you go. It's a nice one. Pretty green. Still on the Zoom Super Fluke. I've tossed around a couple other baits this morning, and this is the only one that seems to be working. They didn't want the wake bait. They didn't want the little jerk bait. There he is, got him. Pickerel. Whoa, right in the boat. They come off almost every time. See, pickerel number 3 that I've landed anyways. I mean, not very big, but these are a lot of fun to catch anyway, so I'm gonna take this one out of the water too. There he is, got him. Another pickerel, little guy. They're all out in this shallow water. Uh-oh. Let's not let that one get away. Little guy. These guys have been tagging me all day. I'm just not landing very many of them. There's a little bit of a creek channel under the boat. Fish right there. Got him. Bass too, right under the boat. I've watched this bass get this thing. That's nuts. Literally right under the boat. That's crazy. That's the first one I've caught that close. Look at that. Nice fish though. I watched him, he was chasing, and I kind of dangled it down there for a minute and he got it. There he is, got a bass too. Dang, I found the bass hole apparently. Wow. I was over here complaining because the bass bite slowed down and just hammered 2 of them. Look at that. Nice. Nice. There's like an extra foot or 2 of water right out here in this little spot. Let me spin the boat back around and we'll go back through that little area again. There he was, dang. He took my fluke off. All I got left is a bare hook. I'm getting tagged by the pickerels. I found a bunch of them right here. It's so hard to hook these guys. So hard to hook them. All right. I've tried to catch these guys on a gulp minnow and a wake bait and a jerk bait with triple hooks and just can't do it. And I can throw this freaking, oh, it's a bass. That's a decent bass too. I can throw this fluke. Oop, dang, that bass came off in the boat too. So this exposed hook on this Zoom Super Fluke is what's catching most of these pickerels. But even with the exposed hook, and let me hook it back up where you can see, I'm still missing way more of them than I'm landing. But you know, you seen how I do it, and this was a bass, so that one was a lot easier to catch. There's a lot more soft tissue on the mouth to hook, and the chain pickerels are more bony. I'm getting a ton of them to bite, but it's hard to get them hooked. Man, it's tough. Ooh, man, he bit it. He let it go. There he goes. He got it that time. He bit it twice. Oh, it's a bass. I was gonna say it's a pickerel, but it's not. It's a pretty largemouth. Ooh, I got him hooked in the bottom. That's not good. Well, I think I got him off without hurting him. Whoa. Pretty fish, though. Oh, man. They're tagging it, they're just not holding it. That's crazy. That's the second bite right in there. I had one bite over there, one bite over there. And they are not committing. Definitely still getting bites though. Just a lot of small fish. There he is, got that one. I'm trying to hold him down in case it's a pickerel, but I think it's a bass. Oh, it's a bass. Yeah. Not a bad bass. Pretty good anyway. Nice fish. Was hoping for another pickerel, but I'll take a bass. There he is. Ooh, that's a bass. No, it's a pickerel. That's a big pickerel for this lake. See if I can keep him on without him coming off. Just got to do him quick. Woo! I landed that one. Whoa! Look at that dude. That's what I wanted before I left, is one more. And that's probably the biggest one of the day, which isn't saying much for these guys. They're not very big in this lake, but that's super cool. I mean, look at those teeth. Ready for war, man, I'm telling you. What's crazy is if you're coming out here and trying to target these guys, they seem to be in the more shallow water where it's only about 3 foot deep from the water to the grass, the top of the grass, and the bass are in the little bit deeper spots. And so I usually don't fish through this area because it's relatively shallow. I say shallow from the grass to the surface. And so a lot of times I skip this, but it seems to be where the pickerels are hanging out. So let's see if I can't land another one. There he was. Dang. Another pickerel, man. He took my freaking bass, pickerel, whatever it was, took my fluke. Oh, wow. I'm glad I checked my line. The teeth on that last one just tore this line to pieces. I'd say a tip, if you're going to come here and use a Zoom super fluke on these pickerels, make sure to bring extra fluke, because I've gone through an entire pack today, because a lot of times when they bite the body and pull it off the hook, and then you lose it. There he is, got him. Largemouth. That's what I figured. I was starting to get in a little bit deeper water, and the deeper water usually holds these guys, and the more shallow water's got the pickerels. It's crazy. That seems to be the pattern today, though. All right, guys, I'm right back over here by the ramp. I'm gonna try and land one more fish. I however many fish I can land on this last little stretch. I'm gonna let the wind just blow me over to the lily pads. See what I can catch right here. Hopefully I can land one more pickerel. If not, I'm gonna call it a day. Let's see if we can't catch something, at least a bass or something. There he is, got him. What have I got? Have I got a pickerel? I do. Oh, and I flipped him over in the boat. How about that to end the day? Wow. Let me grab him. So if I was gonna give you a tip on landing these guys, is crank them in as fast as you can and flip them over in the boat. Don't wait or have a net there, because I mean, most of them come off as they're coming into the boat because they get that little bit of air and they flop and the hook just falls right out. And it's just because their mouths, you hook them in the top and it's mostly bone up there. They keep coming off. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Come catch you some pickerels, guys. I'm out here at Lake Oneal. Y'all have a good one. Wow. Largie. Famous last words are, I was only going to catch one more fish. I was going to fish back to the ramp like everybody, and I caught another largie.